Hello and welcome to Your Questions. This is where I get to ask the experts at Finder the questions you want to know. And how do I know that these are the questions that you're asking? Because we have trawled the internet for some of the most commonly asked questions on Google. So I'm going to take a look in here and see which one is first off the rank. It's on Afterpay. Who do I know that knows a lot about Afterpay? Sally, I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to ask you all about Afterpay. Sally, you see ads for Afterpay online, in store, you hear people talking about it, but how do you use Afterpay?
So it really is everywhere now, but Afterpay is a buy now, pay later service, which kind of in the name tells you what it is. So you sign up for free online and you can use it either for online shopping or in store. But basically you make your purchase and then you get your item, whatever you've bought, and then you can pay it off in equal interest-free installments. It's usually over 4 installments, so it might take you 8 weeks to pay it off in total. You won't be charged any interest, and you can also pay it off earlier if you want as well.
So is it kind of like lay-by, but for the 21st century?
Pretty much.
What else do people need to look out for if they've never used it before?
Yeah, so just like any financial product, there are things that you need to look out for. So you won't pay interest if you're paying off an Afterpay purchase, but if you don't pay it on time, so say if you don't have enough money in your account, and you will get a late payment fee after that. So the first one is $10, and then if you haven't paid it off 7 days after that, you'll get another $7 payment, and that just keeps adding up.
So what's the difference between using a credit card where you can put something on your card and pay it back later and using Afterpay? Is there a difference?
Yeah, totally. So there are quite a few differences. So I'll start off with just applying. So when you sign up for a credit card, you usually have to go through a few different things. You need to have a good credit score, you may need to meet an income requirement, you need to be over 18, you might need to be a permanent resident in Australia. With Afterpay, it's a little bit more simple. You pretty much just need to be 18 and you can sign up online and you can use it straight away. Usually with a credit card, you might have to wait a couple of weeks before you're approved and you get the card and all of that. The other thing is when you're actually buying stuff. So with Afterpay, you can only use it with partnered retailers. They are partnered with a lot of brands in Australia, so you probably won't have that much of an issue trying to find a brand that supports it if you are looking to pay that way. But with a credit card, you can pretty much use it anywhere, wherever Visa, MasterCard, American Express is accepted. So it's probably a little bit easier to use a credit card. And then the other one is paying it off. So with Afterpay, you pay it off, like we said before, every 2 weeks. You make an equal installment, no interest. But with a credit card, you are charged interest unless you pay the entire balance off at the end of the month. So those are probably the main differences.
So to sum up, I guess like Afterpay and credit cards, they're both allowing you credit or allowing you to pay something off in time, but come with different consequences. Is there a difference on how much you can spend using a credit card versus buy now, pay later? Does it work differently or are there different limits?
Yeah, there are. So with Afterpay, usually you can have a limit of up to $500 or $1,500, whereas with a credit card, you can often get credit limits of thousands of dollars. So Afterpay might be better if you're making smaller purchases like clothes or little homeware, stuff like that. Whereas a credit card might be good if you're planning a big trip overseas, or maybe you're buying a fridge or other white goods, like big ticket purchases like that.
Sally, you are our Finder expert on Afterpay. If you wanted to tell people just one thing they needed to know about Afterpay, what would it be?
I think just like any financial product, I would say use it responsibly. I think because it is so easy to apply for and you can use it pretty much everywhere now in Australia, it's really tempting. And I think it can be a great way to free up your cash flow, especially over Christmas or, if you have something that you really need to buy. But just don't forget those late payment fees. You won't be charged interest, which is great, but those late payment fees can add up.
So make sure you've got the money and you can pay it off in time.
Yeah, exactly. I would say that if you are questioning whether or not you'll be able to pay it off in time, then just don't use it at all. Instead, save up your cash and buy it when you're ready.
Do you have to make the first instalment using Afterpay when you buy the item, or do you get the item first and then pay it back?
Yeah, so you do make the first installment when you buy the purchase, and then you'll get the others coming through every 2 weeks after that. Usually you get a reminder via text or email as well when that's coming up, which is really good because then if it's pulling from a specific account, you can make sure that you've got enough money in there to cover it, so you're not charged that late fee.
So there you have it. That is the lowdown from our Finder expert. If you want to know more about Afterpay and how it works, click on the link in the description below. And if you like this video, give us a like. And if you want to see more of our experts at Finder, why don't you hit subscribe too?